is it time to talk about the gacha? Let's quickly run through the gacha, because right before we do this temple, people should know the goods and the bads, because this has been beyond a stupid conversation to be had, right? Alright, so 0.8% base rate drop. That's the same as it always was. Nothing different. Basic headhunting, 8% or 0.8% drop for 6 stars with equal chances to get any of the 6 stars operators, because this is on the default banner, this is not on perma banner. But to explain this better, we should probably swap to the perma banner, because that, for the event banner, because this is where you really do your pulls. Alright, you see this here. 100 attempts to guarantee. I feel like that should be better, but it's too overhated. Oh no, it's definitely I think it's good. I think it's better than other games, and I will explain why, okay? Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, hi YouTube, how you doing? Welcome in. This is probably going to be a video, but let's just run through it, because I think it is important people understand what is actually happening here, okay? Because there seems to be a little bit of just hating without actually understanding. Now, 0.8% drop rate, we knew that from prior. 8% for 5s, which are purples, and then 4% for the useless weapons in this game, which are actually characters, which is a cool little blessing. This one is called Scars of the Forge. In this charter headhunting, you can use a HH permit and event permits to perform headhunting, blah, blah, blah. And this goes on and on. The rate up, 6-star for operator Leviathan, aka Sutra, featured in this charter headhunting banner will stay in all available operators list for charter headhunting for 3 charter headhunting banners. Including the current one before being removed. So when she is gone, she's on the next 2 banners. So you don't lose her instantly. So on average in Arknights, new characters stay on banners for around, give or take, if we get a 3-week patch cycle, 9 weeks. 2 and a bit months, okay? Which is a long time. Most, it's 3 and then you have to wait for the rerun. Whereas this is 9 weeks before you get the rerun hit, okay? Very important to note. The 6-star Yvonne available in this charter will stay in all available operators lists for charter headhunting for 4 headhunting banners, including this one before it being removed. And then, yeah, Gilberto will stay in for 5. So again, I don't know how these are, if these are going to be like final release. It's kind of picking and choosing a couple of them, but I digress. Once they're removed, they do not go to perma, which is something that was in the base game. For those who don't know, in base Arknights, if you had perma banner characters, they would actually be all like essentially incrementally added to that banner from the limited banner. So let's say Sutra, which we're getting right here, she would go to the perma banner when it was over. That is not the case anymore, but you get them for 9 weeks before they go away for the next rerun, okay? This is what it looks like, okay? So your first banner, which is Sutra. Second banner, when Yvonne is the main one, she is still in there. She's just not the guarantee. And then the third one, it is her. Operator is removed after the 3rd banner ends. Now, you get a guaranteed 6-star operator within 80 headhunting attempts. And attempts toward this guarantee carry over to the charted headhunting banners. Okay? Note that. Charted headhunting has a 0.8% for 5 stars, and that also carries over. Blah, blah, blah. And we need to get to the main meat and potatoes that people are really mad at. So it's this spot right here. In this charted headhunting banner, you are guaranteed to get a rate up 6-star operator within 120 headhunting attempts. This guarantee can only trigger once in this banner and will reset when the banner ends. Attempts towards this guarantee will not carry over to other headhunting banners. Alright? So, most games have a regular, I'm forgetting the word, I can't speak today. Most games have a regular pity of 160 or 180. This game is 120 with the catch that only hits once and then copies subsequently are no longer that 120. Alright? As you can read prior, 6-star acquired from this charter headhunting banner will have a 50% chance of being the rate up Leviathan and 50% chance of being the non-rate up, with equal chances available for each non-rate up 6-star operator. So bear that in mind. Soft pity also 65, just for those who are curious, it says it right there. And you get 5% increase after every 65, 80 being the hard pity. What people are very mad at, which mind you, I can understand why you are mad at this, is there's no pity after the 120. After you hit 120 pulls, you can actually lose 50-50 infinite times on a technicality level scale, okay? It is not something that you will actually lose infinitely. It is only for copies. Now, I want to explain why this is genuinely a good thing, and I want you to listen as best as you possibly can. It is a genuine good thing that we get a 120 guarantee, full stop. This 120 guarantee does not carry to other banners, which, in my mindset as a free-to-play player, is a net positive. It is a net positive. And it is because it forces you and punishes you to not do lazy pulling. Lazy pulling being when you pull on a banner for a character you're kind of impartial for because you want to pull anyway. So, I want character that is on the next patch, but the current patch I don't have the character yet. I just want to gamble for the sake of gambling, and I'm kind of okay with this character. If I lose my 50-50, cool. If I win, cool. But that mindset actually secretly kind of fucks you. Because, what if you hit that? What if you hit that little gamble? Okay? If you hit that 50-50 and win, you're on 0 50-50 for the next character that you're trying to get. And your pity building and being an idiot in every other game that we've seen is now null and void. This game essentially is your parents forcing you to eat your vegetables, vegetables being waiting for the character you actually want and not being a lazy bitch, to get the dessert you want, which is the character you want, okay? Now, I do understand from a perspective of a whale that this can kind of be melancholic. It's a bit in the middle, like, it kind of sucks, but you deal. Whales spend a lot of money anyway, so this shouldn't be absolutely mental. But let me also bring another big point into this. If you go into your characters, this game has one less max character dupe, okay? Every game operates under a 5, under a 6. This game only has 5, as you can see. So it is one character inherently, it is one copy inherently less, right? And there is obviously a huge state of mind that is kind of hive-minding and taking about everything, that if you are to pull for 6 stars and you want copies, you're kind of shit out of luck. I do disagree with the mindset because gacha is gacha, it is always going to be random. We have been so preconditioned to the ideology of Genshin Impact's 50-50 system that every game kind of has been bipartisan and taken that on after the fact, and it's kind of a symbiotic relationship with all the other games, that if we follow somewhat to the similarities of Genshin's gacha system, people will be more mentally primed and prepared for that. No one wants to be the pioneer and do something different, because no one likes difference until they really get to try it out. So, if you are in the state of mind that this is a bad thing and you are free to play, I want to ask you the one question here that really does matter. When was the last time you pulled dupes on a 6-star? Legitimately. Because you wouldn't have. Ever. It doesn't make sense. If you're a whale, I can see why this sucks. If you are whatever arbitrary kind of sea animal or sea mammal you want to label yourself as, like a guppy, fucking dolphin, flathead, goddamn deep sea monster, Cthulhu, whatever you want to call yourself, okay? This is kind of shit for you. But for most people who are free to play, maybe by battle pass and daily login, like Welkins or daily top-up passes and stuff like that, headhunting permits for base Arknights, that sort of thing, this is a godsend because it also trains your brain to not do the lazy pulls, and ergo, you have more pulls to put on the other banner of the character you do want. It's a double positive. Because not only do you waste pointless pulls that if you, build your pity arbitrarily speaking, and don't hit something, it doesn't matter. If you do hit that thing, you're out of a 50-50, you're guaranteed pity doesn't carry over, and to top all of that off, you're out a lot of currency too, for no reason. So, you will be able to get, on average, with this game's max pity being 120, every 3 characters you get, one of them is actually free in the viewpoint of other games and their currency systems, because it is 40 to 50 less. Do you see what I'm trying to say here? By the time you hit 3 characters and you're on a game that has 40 average pulls less, that game, that is another character. You would be sure another patch or so, be that the case of another game that had the 160 or the 180 pulls, alright? So, anyone who's thinking that is a bad thing is kind of dumb. I just want to put that out there, okay? I get everyone has their own mentalities and viewpoints and everything like that. I think a lot of people just hate the fact that this game is trying to be a pioneer and do something different, and no one wants to be the pioneer. No one wants to be the guy who creates the road, everyone just wants to drive on it, alright? Which also leads me into the next thing I want to quickly mention real quick. Seahorse because males get pregnant. That's a crazy thing to say. This game, you don't pull for weapons in the truest sense of you buy the weapon. When you do a gamba, you receive copies of this currency here, which is called Arsenal tickets, if I remove my face cam, okay? You get it from headhunting, you can buy them, and it is also from the battle pass, alright? But it doesn't inherently force you to buy it outright. There is no banner for them. It is a secondary store, which you get from doing main character pulls. You get a chance of getting their weapon too. So it's almost like a 2-in-1. I don't want to say this system is perfect, but I do want to tell people to kind of keep an open mind, and depending, again, this is all contingent on how much they give us as players per patch. Depending on how much they give us, this is, I don't want to say the word objectively, but in my subjective opinion of playing gacha games since Azur Lane in 20 goddamn 18, one of the better gacha systems we've seen approaching in nearly a decade. Especially on the scale of a game being 3D, semi-open world, hundreds of $1 million, and in terms of production, and like 5 years production time, okay? This is really good considering what we've got. It is a company that has to make money at the end of the day, so there will always be sacrifices, and this game has decided the sacrifice will be the people who spend the money on the game. Sounds kind of fucked up when you think about it in that side of things, but whales are going to spend a shitload anyway, and I think if you do all the tallying up and the evening out, the fact that you have one character less in your dupes for the 5 versus the 6 every other game has, you're in a pretty good spot, okay? I just wanted to say my piece on it because a lot of people are kind of left, right, and center, and I wanted to set the record straight that it is a good system. If we don't get a lot of pulls per patch or a decent amount of pulls per patch, something like a Woowa, free-to-play kind of system and events and stuff like that, then I think there is reason for concern. Alright, from what we know on the CN side of things, it is pretty much 1-to-1 in terms of cost. It's like $2 a pull on average Australian. So it is, in terms of outright purchasing top-ups, the same. So I'm going to assume they're also going to pull out and give pulls to players at semi the same rate, okay? So if you don't pull copies, this is a dream banner for you. That is the only stipulation here, and that's all I wanted to say. Alright? Thank you all so much for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, tell me why you disagree with me, because I'm sure no one wants to keep an open mind and say this is actually a good thing, because it is. Don't be a fucking retard about it. Okay, you know, maybe go back to Genshin or whatever it may be. But hey, if you do have a differing opinion, and it does affect free-to-plays directly, please let me know in the comments below. I am willing to keep an open mind and admit my faults on what I might be overseeing here. But if you just count your pulls semi-decently, yeah, pretty well fine, alright? Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Let me know what you want to see. Alright, we've still got another month of this Endfield beta, and I'm enjoying every second of it. Bye-bye now.